Let me take you to this eye bleed story. Warning, full duct tape alert. In effect, you are going to need to wrap your head in duct tape because you will not be able to handle this when your head will explode. The iconic photograph of firefighters raising the American flag in the rubble of the World Trade Center was almost excluded from the National September 11th Memorial and Museum because it was too, quote, rah, rah, America, end quote. The book that talks about this, iconic 9/11 photo nearly excluded from Ground Zero Museum for being too rah, rah, America, new book is says that Thomas Franklin's iconic photograph of firefighters raising the flag among the World Trade Center rubble was nearly excluded. I really believe, now this is according to the book Battle for Ground Zero. I really believe the way America will look best, the way we can really do best, is not to be Americans so vigilantly and so vehemently. What the hell does that mean? Now, this is the person that is putting together the 9/11 Memorial and Museum, which, by the way, I will never spend a dime in that place. I went to the I don't know about anybody else, but the World Trade Center site just pisses me off. The whole thing just pisses me off. There is no reason that thing is not finished. We finished the Empire State Building. We finished the Empire State Building in the Great Depression in 11 months. Why is this? Why are we still even talking about what's going to be in the museum? Ultimately, according to the book, a compromise was worked out to include Thomas Franklin's famous photograph, but it had to include two other images showing the flag raising from different angles. Several images undercut the myth of one iconic moment. What myth of one iconic moment? What does that even mean? Or should we get rid of the one iconic moment of Iwo Jima as well? What does that mean? The myth of one iconic moment. That's how we remember it. They suggested instead of an event from multiple points of view, that way we would remember the attacks more broadly. Well, I don't even know what that means. Shulin, who is the person who is the curator of this museum, was living in New York City during the 9/11 attacks, told the newspaper his aim was, quote, not to reduce 9/11 down to something that was too simple. Okay, let me see.
It was pretty simple.
It really was. It really was.
Pretty simple.
Here's what it was. A bunch of Muslim extremists get onto an airplane and then kill everybody on board.
That's pretty simple.
And anybody who couldn't get out of the World Trade Center, you were all dead. That's pretty easy. I'm remembering that pretty clearly.
You know what that means? That means we're supposed to consider their motivation when we look back on 9/11. That's what this guy wants us to do.
Well, no, excuse me. There's that. You could listen to Pat, but that is just, if you would, that's just one iconic moment of Pat.
Right. Should we look at it from a different angle now?
Well, yes. Pat is trying to reduce 9/11 down to something that's too simple. And it's in its simplicity, it would actually distort the complexity of the event and the meaning of the event.
Wow.
In its simplicity.
That's amazing, too. And what was the quote? They want to look at it from several different angles.
Yes.
One of those angles can't be the first responders being down there raising a flag in the most iconic moment of the entire event. That can't be one of the moments. That can't be one of the angles.
One of the moments. That can be one of the moments, but let's not make a big deal out of that. We're going to post that one in the we're going to, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to post that one down at the bottom of the urinal.
I wouldn't be surprised. By the way, that's not what the guy wanted either. That he didn't want it to be one of the views. He wanted it to not be there at all.
Yeah, he wanted it out.
Yeah,
he wanted it out.
Jeez, that is
okay, so now let's go.